Hey, good afternoon. How you doing? My name is Jonathan Chambers, and I'm here today to speak to you about the podcast that I just watched earlier, and it was by Gordon Firemark, and I thoroughly enjoyed listening to this podcast about from the Entertainment Law Update podcast. The first thing that interested me about this podcast was um, copyright law. So what piqued my interest was uh, they began to speak about Sherlock Holmes, the Sherlock Holmes case, and saying Sherlock Holmes had a plethora of novels, books out there, and like I think 54 in total, and they had a film released in the UK, and but it's been in public domain. I think since the year 2000, the copyright expired. And so what was interesting was um, it was it's 10 books out there now that are still protected. So I was basically unaware that a portion of the books could be covered, and not being the entire Sherlock Holmes case. So that definitely got my attention, and it was interesting. Like those 10 books actually are covered and they're protected until the year 2023. So another thing I learned was about the right to create adaptations, the right to create new work based on protected work is a derivative work, and it gives some exclusivity to the copyright owner. So that those things piqued my interest. So another thing that actually got my attention was about the Blurred Lines case with Universal Records. So it was Robin Thicke and Pharrell. They had committed copyright infringement um, on the Marvin Gaye song "Got to Give It Up" song, and they were saying Universal Records was saying don't violate my Seventh Amendment rights, and it's kind of I didn't know liability and damages are two separate issues. So, it was saying a juror has decided an issue, and then the court may not declare the opposite, without violating the Seventh Amendment right. So, this definitely piqued my interest to look further, delve deep into the Seventh Amendment rights. And it was also interesting that the rapper Clifford Harris, who goes by T.I., his portion, I guess, was thrown out of the case. So that was interesting. I was like, wow, I've never heard of that before. I thought everybody would be sued equally. Um, and then another thing, I'm a performer artist, and sometimes I crack jokes on stage too. So what interests me about the Abbott and Costello, they were saying jokes are hard to protect. And they began to speak about common law copyrights. And just by being on stage and saying, lyrics and quoting, doing my own thing, and sometimes I may incorporate other people, just different styles. And I was unfamiliar with the Fair Use Act. So fair use is actually a defense against a claim of copyright infringement, and I learned that fair use applies when you critique copyrighted work. Comments will make a parody. So if I ever infringed upon you, I might have to claim fair use. So no, but I just was enlightened by plethora of information. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate everything. So it was most interesting because people unknowingly infringe upon copyrighted material constantly. I know I do. Um, um, and this was definitely a learning experience, and it made me just become more conscious of the copyright laws and everything's and protecting works of art. So I appreciate everything so much I'm getting from this course. Thank you, and have a great evening. Bye bye. Jonathan Chambers signing off.